Hey y'all, welcome back to Indie Flicks, where we recap, review, and react to your favorite reality TV mess. If you love honest breakdowns without spoilers, you're in the right place. Season 10 of Love is Blind is officially here, and episode 1 already gave us love triangles, instant connections, and at least 3 people who are absolutely about to get their feelings hurt. Let's talk about episode 1. So this season we are in Ohio, and I'm not gonna lie, Netflix is not playing this season. We've got so much just in episode 1. And I don't know if anybody else watches Love is Blind, but usually the first few episodes I'll be ready to skip because it moves so slow. I get it, we're meeting the singles, they're meeting each other, figuring it out, and the proposals and all that. And usually it's just slow. And the real stuff don't come until we're together, they go on vacation, they're back at home. But y'all, I'm telling you now, if you have not started watching it, watch it. Episode 1, you will not be sleeping. There's so much going on. Proposal. We got a proposal, y'all. In just episode 1. We already have, I guess, maybe a little bit of drama, tears flowing, triangles left and right. Like, episode 1 for season 10 has definitely set the stage for a whole lot of for the rest of the season. And I'm tuned in. I'm so tuned in. So if you're not watching, watch. If you don't want to watch, that's fine. Just keep watching my videos. So let's get into this first coupling that kind of like caught my attention. We have Emma, who's a 28-year-old retail merchandiser. She's from Ohio, and she gives us a little bit shaping of her, background and history. She was born in China. She was adopted by a white family in Ohio, and she shared something deeply personal, that she was battling serious medical challenges as a kid, which included having 10 surgeries. 10 to remove some dangerous birthmarks, leaving scars on her arms. You can see it in the episode that she always felt like self-conscious about. So her wanting to be on the pods is really, trying to leave that physical aspect alone and wanting someone to get to know her, what everybody signs up for, right? It's more than romance. She just wants a chance, it seems, to be seen for who she is outside of, her scars. And I love that. I love when people can get on this show and be very vulnerable with us as viewers, as well as the strangers that they're meeting in these pods. And she had a connection, or has a connection, with Mike, who is a 30-year-old sales manager. And already, again, like I said, episode 1's moving quickly. He's already expressing to her that he's ranking her high, really early. He's making it clear to her. And I'm not going to lie. It's already, to me, in my opinion, it's already given he's way more into her than she is into him. She's saying things to validate him, but there's a lot of jokes in between it. So in my opinion, it doesn't come off truly sincere or genuine. I don't know if she's saying it just as filler gaps, or again, just to just strictly validate him. But I think it's nice to hear, he is really into you, and he's saying he's already claiming Emma as his number one. And they had a conversation too about kids, because Emma is hesitant about having kids because she's adopted. She doesn't know what her family's medical history is, and she doesn't want to bring a child into and not knowing. And he's kind of talking to her about it and forming, other options, and he's being supportive. He didn't shut her down completely. But I don't know. I think he is overly attentive. And maybe that is something she needs. I don't know what her past situations are. But you have a guy here. But that doesn't stop with Mike. She is also forming a connection with Connor, who is a 32-year-old that works in account management. And their connection is a lot different than hers and Mike's. I see more of an emotional connection. She did kind of like tell him, like most of our conversations have been surface level, but he was ready to go deep with her. He's you know, just re-emphasizing how much she means to him, and she's at the top of his list, and giving all those good security words that any woman would like to hear. And I think she likes that. She needs to hear it. She likes it. And then just a sidebar, I'm just noticing they must have taken a lot of stuff out, because this, again, y'all, is only episode 1. I think by the time she's talking to Connor, we're only halfway through the episode, and we talking about number 1s already. So I don't know what the switch up is, but I'm here for it. Let's move it along. So yeah, she's really connecting with Connor. She's really connecting with Mike. And she's also connecting with someone else. So she also started kind of vibing with the Steven. And Steven was more light. Like, he was funny, goofy, silly, all that, right? And she had concerns like, do you know how to turn it off? And he says, yeah, he knows when to be silly and when not to be. But then the conversation, it does not, it literally starts and it ends within the one date. They start talking about more of the kid aspect. He knows that she's adopted. She shared her story with him. And it seemed like he was more focused on what maybe, wrong after she admitted, like, she had the surgeries and all that. And I think that instantly turned her off, because, again, Emma told us, at least, she ain't come here for all that physicality stuff. Like, she wants to know someone on a deeper level. And he was a little pushy. Even about the kids situation, she's hesitant about that. He brought up, since you're adopted, would you adopt other kids? And you could just tell the conversation was definitely veering left, far, far, far left. And at the end of it, they wound up just, she was like, it ain't gonna work. And you know what? I ain't mad at it, because I didn't think it was gonna work either. What do y'all think? Like, did y'all think Steven, out of the 3, was a match for her? I couldn't see it. Like, yes, he's goofy and silly, but I feel like he probably would have been one of those ones where he's seen her and like, nah. Especially like the conversations we bringing up. It was childish. Like, when did you have your first kiss? When did you lose your virginity? Sir, no. And then you want explicit details, and you talking about yours is about the Notebook? How old are we? Like, yeah. Emma made a good decision, in my opinion. Another love triangle is with Tyler, Kevin, and Kia. All 3 are very good looking. And Kevin is kind of in the middle of these ladies. And you can kind of see he already friend zoned Kia. And I feel bad, because Kia is beautiful. But so is Tyler. So he kind of admits to it. He says, like, Kia he could see as a best friend, and Kaya is something way more deeper. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this kind of plays out between the 3 of them. I just hope it doesn't get messy. I hope Kevin has clear, communication before he commits to either ladies. Both of them, I feel like, are really good choices. Tyler is 33, and I believe she's like a sales leader. And then Kia, she's also 31, and she's a marketing director. So I think they're both good choices. And Kevin's 32. I think he's a realtor in Ohio. And he had a conversation, I believe it was with Tyler, about, would she be willing to relocate? And she's like, yeah, love right now is top priority for her, because she's so successful in her career, especially it being a career where there's not that many Black women in that role. And she takes pride in that. And I love that. Like, I'm feeling all 3 of them, honestly. So again, I didn't see much of them episode 1 besides the introductions, but I hope we see more of them on the upcoming episodes. Ladies, we have Victor. He is 34, and he teaches at the university, at a university in Ohio. And it's just something about his aura and demeanor is so very calm. I had to highlight him just alone by himself real quick. Like, this is the type of quality of man I would expect to be on these shows. You know what I'm saying? And again, I could be biting my tongue later on, because usually when you start off so good like this, Love Island history, it seems to flip. And I hope it's not the case, because Victor, I'm on his team. Like, he just gives very masculine, nurturing as well, meaningful conversation, just very grounded energy. I don't I mean he doesn't seem like he's someone who has those surface level, connections. Just his mindset. I don't know. I'm surprised I didn't see a lot of women on him. Again, a lot of things had to be cut the way things are moving so fast. But I think Victor is a very high quality contender for the show. I'm praying that I do not bite my tongue towards the end of this, Victor. Please. I am rooting for you. The only connection I see Victor with this whole episode was with Christine, who's 31, and she works in healthcare, helping people communicate more effectively. And honestly, you can tell that's what she does for a living, because how she does it in the pods is exactly that. She's very intentional, very articulate, and also emotionally aware. And their connection is very, I'm saying very a lot, but it's undeniable. It really is. I'm not gonna lie, it makes sense. It makes sense that it stood out this entire episode. You're like so emotionally, like, it's so emotionally real early on. And that led to his choice to freaking proposing to her on the first episode. This was the first proposal of the episode. And it wasn't even dramatic. Like, it was so sincere and so much intention behind it. Like, I think that was a great way to set the premiere. And I think that this, I'm a bet now, I think this is going to be good. I think they are going to be a very strong couple. I see it just like season one, our season one couple who are now happily married with the baby. I can see it between Victor and Christine, honestly. I love this for them. It was, like I said, it was intentional from the start, and this is going to be something to watch. And I'm excited for them to actually see each other, because I do think they're both very attractive people, and I think they'll both be attracted to each other. And they're both tall. And Christine has always talked about how she, values communication, and she wants to have this Super Bowl house and this family and all that. And I feel like this is a good pairing, and they're going to have some athletes, because they are some tall people. They are tall, but they are pretty together, and we're going to keep watching. We're going to see how this plays out. So episode one did more than just open the season. It set the tone. We saw a rare early proposal from Victor to Christine, a very complicated triangle brewing with Emma, and Kevin trying to figure out what kind of emotional connection he wants. We're only one episode in, y'all, and this season already feels layered. So I just need y'all to comment down below, who are you rooting for from episode one and why? If you're loving the recaps, hit subscribe, because we're breaking down every episode one at a time. See you in the next one.